Mocossi was another one, which is another play to earn game over here with a cute creature over here. Is this is a project for us that when we first covered, I think we mentioned them maybe one time on the podcast, maybe back in like December, and we were concerned because the Mocossi paid like tributes to like Stales, like the fire elemental,
I remember
Yummy,
that.
and we were like, I don't know, is this just like a copycat?
So was I. I was like that at the time too.
Really?
For sure. They actually went back and changed them. I didn't even know that till like a week ago.
Did they?
Well, it was also it was a period of the market too, because we had just came out of like, I mean, it was a little bit later, but we were in the thick of it, where like now things weren't selling out, everything didn't flip for 5x or 10x, and we were starting to see like a lot more rug pulls or at least projects that were coming in and just kind of like copy and pasting. Either a lot of it back then was like off of Google, like just stealing stock images, copy and pasting it on like a base model, and then kind of like just running away with everyone's money. So we were all very, very skeptical and very focused and tuned in on these, like, everyone had their spidey senses, like looking for these, copycats or money grab projects. And I mean, now we're 6 months later, Mocossi's still going strong and developing those. So it definitely wasn't what we at least first kind of judged it by its cover.
Absolutely not. I definitely one I slept on after the fact, and it was one of those ones where it was like a pride thing for me too, of like, damn, I missed out on this one. I didn't originally think it was much, and then to see them kind of build and do what they're doing, I never was open-minded enough to get into it. I was like, if I'm going to choose a cute creature one, I guess I'm going with Yummy because I'm already invested there. But yeah, Jack, I know what's the big draw for you? Why did you change your mind kind of from the initial impression to where you are now?
Yeah, so most of it was honestly because I do talk with a lot of people in the Dead Pixels community, and a lot of them are into Mocossi. Like, honestly, probably majority, especially the active people in there. There's a few people who have put like huge Mocossi proposals together for the Rats DAO and the other DAOs. Darashi and David King. I don't know if you know those two people, but they're really big advocates of Mocossi. And reading their proposal, I was interested. I read it, and that night I went and dropped like, I think it was like, it was a lot of ADA. It was like 10,000 ADA on Mocossi, which was at the time they were like 200 ADA each, and I mean, it was a lot of money. But I just thought, hey, a little bit of a gamble, have some fun. I'm in my mom's basement. Like, how bad is it gonna get? Like, how much further down am I gonna go? And the team's been building. They have the breeding. That's what the breeding was coming out at the time, and I've just seen them do AMAs, and they're very active, very communicative. So, from what I first thought, I saw like all the Yummy controversy back in the day. I didn't bother with it back then, but coming this year, like 4 months later, seeing them still here and having a breeding game and all that, it really interested me, and I'm excited to see what they're going to come up with next. But I do think that they are going to be kind of that Axie kind of feel, right? And they have a lot of quality and a lot of good team experience behind them, so I'm excited.
Yeah, that was one thing that I didn't realize. Like I said, the 3D aspect never even occurred to me, what they were actually trying to build, and they're very far along, like you said, in terms of where the rest of the space is, right? Compared to some things. So the breeding was what I've started to notice, and I don't know what this stands for. What does the ITO stand for? I always see that. Do you know what that means? Or I always see like the version 2 of these things. Or
I just know the ITO ones are the yellow ones, the ITO 2s are the purple ones. I don't know what they stand for necessarily. Actually,
I don't know. It's a great question. I'm over here because I'm like ITOs. I'm like, why are those ones cheaper? And I was like, those are the ones that breed. So how were you able to breed? What did you have to have besides the initial Mocossi?
Yeah, so you basically take 2 of the ITO ones, the yellow ones, and you put them together, and it's like 20 ADA. You can breed once every 7 days, and every time you breed further, it's another 2 ADA. So now I've bred them like 4 times each. I have like, or 3.5 times each. I have like 70 of the ITO 2s. But now it costs like 30 something ADA to breed one, so it gets pricey. But it's fun, right? It's kind of addicting. Like the other day I was saying like, oh, just one more breed, and I was talking with people in the Discord chat, and I said one more probably like 13 times. So
it's fine. It happens.
There's a big reveal, and it's like that minting crave, but you're not spending that much ADA. Well, it is a little bit, but it's fun. It's fun. That's all.
So the breeding aspect of it, so it's only you don't have to just have 2 different ones. That's the main thing to it, or
just 2 separate ITO ones, the yellow ones, and then you can breed them together.
And then what's the point of breeding them? Like, is there a reason to do that? I know, like, obviously I've seen dirt birds have like dirt planes. Like, what is the point of having to breed one of those? Like, I guess a child version of these things.
So you do get the ITO2, which you'll be able to use it in their game. But also when you breed like the ITO1s, every breed count, you skip a level. So when you come into their actual game, if you've bred your first generations, your yellow ones, like 5 times, you'll be level 5. You'll skip right ahead to it. So it's like a bypass to the leveling system in that sense too. And then you also get more Mocossi reward, or like they have their own token. You get more rewards per ITO2s and ITO1s you have, but also per how many times you bred the ITO1. So it's a lot of incentives hidden there. And I mean, the team's thought it out pretty well, because like it does drive a lot of people to get into the ecosystem and already get started before the game's even released.
Yeah. And so outside of that too, because I did notice that there was an announcement over here. Besides the breeding, they have lands that are getting ready to come out. These 3D lands. Do you have any information on that stuff? Because I don't know what that means. Obviously, everybody's doing land drops these days.
I don't know if you can pull it up, but they have like these are like the base 3D ones, but the concept ones actually look really good. Like there's the 2D concepts. I might scroll down a bit, but essentially, yeah, like that one, they're having a land sale, and you're going to be able to put your ITOs on them and actually like, use the land in game.
Really?
Like it's going to be actual, and they're all different. You can customize them as far as I know, but basically, yeah, you get also another incentive is if you have the ITO1s and the ITO2s, the more you have of each, the more whitelist spots you get for the land. So I'm going to be, I think I was up to like 3,000 ADA worth of land I have to buy, and I plan on buying it all.
Jesus.
I plan on minting it all.
Giddy up, all right.
But yeah, so there's another incentive if you actually want to spend a lot of ADA on land, but I plan on doing it. I like the project, and I think the quality, like it looks good. I mean, I don't know where it's going to go, but I think the team's pretty dedicated.
I love this. I hadn't seen the land plots like
yeah,
this.
they look really good.
So hard on this.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of different ones too.
Like Zelda or something on the Game Boy, and I'm all about it. I was gonna say then the game is it. It almost seems like it's gonna be more like a like Animal Crossing kind of game sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like that's, I guess, Tommy, and TJ, we always kind of thought like this is the Digimon to the Pokemon. And also we were Pokemon fans, so Digimon could go, fuck itself. I don't know if we're aging ourselves or dating ourselves with Digimon references, because they've kind of died away. But that's what it really kind of seemed like. Whereas they're more, and they would probably, I don't, what they would like to compare themselves to. It's hard to do comparison or analogies, but like kind of like a Tamagotchi or mixed with a kind of like Animal Planet or Animal Crossing. It seems like, where it's just kind of like a virtual world where you take care of your pets and you can build things up and make your little land plots and hang out in like a social space almost.
Yeah, well, seeing, like I said, this is different than what I was originally anticipating too. Like I saw like the 3D, we all see the land plots, right? Like I guess one of the more animated ones out of the space right now has been Cardania. With some of the way those plots have looked, but outside of that, it's the famous like grass, like with Pavia and stuff. But to see like this like little image on this, where you actually put your Mocossi on there and actually, I guess, earn.
Yeah.
So the whole point of this is to earn. Do they have like in-game like currency and stuff outside? Another Mocossi token is something, right?
Yeah. So I think they have like an in-game token called like Moshi, and you can convert it to the Mocossi, like MCOS later. I'm not 100% sure on all the mechanics with the lands and like the game in depth, because a lot of that hasn't been revealed. And also like I don't understand all of it yet, because there's a lot to grasp there, and there's a lot of like there's a lot of hidden things they've kind of aren't fully released, right? So I mean, I'm gonna play the game. Like I'm gonna play Yummy. I'm gonna play the Dead Pixels game. I'm gonna play this one because there are 3 projects I'm heavily invested to. But like I don't know when it's gonna come out. I don't know when the final game's gonna come out. But I know Mocossi, they have like different phases. They have the breeding game, they have a pet game, and then they have a Mocossi Planet game. So there's like 3 different games technically.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to it. So the breeding aspect's curious too, because I'm just like, as I'm scrolling here too, learn kind of my first take on this is like, so you're breeding one of it. There's like this little bonus thing up here too. So there's other stuff outside of just making the NFTs and getting, like you said, the
there's
first
some
and secondary.
mechanics to it for sure.
Yeah.
So TJ, help us out here. What's a floor check on the Mocossi there?
Look at it right now.
Because I'm gonna have to snag one of these.
Yeah.
Right. Which one?
I mean, I'm assuming
ITO2s. Which one?
It doesn't matter.
ITOs are 460 and ITO2s are 69.
Jeez. So yeah, we got to get in on this, huh?
I wonder if the
think-
ITO2s will have like, I assume they're going to benefit, for holding to some of the holders as far as these land sale goes. I wonder if they're going to open any up to the public, or they're going to do like
Yeah, there is a bit of public
raffle
land sales.
Okay,
I think it's like maybe it's less than 1,000 for public, and then ITO2s if you have 5 of them, like before the snapshot. I think the snapshot hasn't happened yet. If you have 5 of the ITO2s, you get a whitelist spot. And
That's what it was, 5.
If you have 2 of the yellow ones, ITO1s, you get a whitelist spot as well.
Wow, okay. All
Okay,
right.
so you got to spend a little ADA right now to get that. But
you do for sure.
Do you know the total drop then? So you said 1,000 for public, or about
it's 10,000.
Wow.
10,000 land drop. But like to be honest, that to me, I think that's pretty good compared to like Pavia and like other land drops are 100,000, 60,000, 50, like whatever the crazy numbers. But these ones I haven't minted any land except for like 1 Pavia and like obviously I minted Clay Nation, but I've never been this excited to mint something, and this like. And also willing to put so much money into mint that I have for Mocossi.
Oh man,
awesome.
So I've been sleeping on this, and I've been seeing more and more people. I actually do believe I saw David King mention Mocossi at one point, and I kind of just shrugged it off because, again, I think it was pride more of the fact that I couldn't do it because I saw how well they were doing. I was just like, I can't commit to that another one like that. Like Chill Calms, I was like that. It's the same way. But dude, the artwork, and I like the style of their art too. Like these land sales, it's cool to see like their take on like this, like their metaverse, their world, or whatever you want to call it. The game, I guess, is a game at the end of the day, right? So what do you know any of the mechanics of what the game in itself you're going to be able to do, or is it just so like it's there's a game and I'm not sure exactly what it is that you're going to be doing in that game?
I know they have revealed a lot of the details, but like most of my focus has been on like the fundamentals behind where they're going. I know there's obviously the breeding game. I don't know if I call it a game, but that's what they say, the breeding game, the breeding that they have now. Then they have a pet game, which is like kind of feeding you're feeding your pets, you're keeping your pets healthy, like stuff like that. That'll be
Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was looking for. And then there's also going to be the whole Mocossi Planet game, which is a little bit a ways out, which is kind of tying everything together. I think the land and like being able to actually go and, battle or whatever else with your ITOs, your ITO1s would be like, you can get 3D versions by holding the original NFTs and stuff like that. So there's a lot to it. I didn't even cover like half the stuff I'm saying now in my video when I did do a video on them. They've been developing really fast though. It's like, it's pretty impressive to see how much they do every week because they do weekly AMAs and weekly progress updates.
Well, I can see why people have been yelling at us to talk about it.
I know we've been
so like it's like blinder seg. Like I had some guys.
I'm surprised David King hasn't said something about it. He gave us a nice little shout out, and he wasn't just like, look at these idiots just not talking about Mocossi ever.
Yeah, they're talking about Yummy, which obviously Yummy's a good.
It's been a 5th week in a row talking about Yummy.
It's like, you guys like Yummy so much, why don't you check this out? I'm definitely gonna check it out. Now this is so much different too, to even see this right here. I know that's not like a full game or anything, but to see the vision of where it is, where they could be going with this. This feels very commercially, like branding wise, very good too. Like you said, you akin it to like a Axie or something like that. Man, that's exciting. And they got the whole, so the land, do we know when the land sale is, or have they announced that date yet?
No, they haven't announced the date. It's it is really soon, I believe, though. Maybe they did announce the date, and I don't remember.
I do this. We do that all the time, man.
I'm pretty sure it's in the next month. I'm not 100% sure, but it's coming out very soon.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, we'll go ahead and definitely check that out. And I know it was a topic that we were like, we need to cover this, but Jack is the perfect person to kind of get us segued into it a little bit.
Oh, for sure. I appreciate all the information because I honestly had no idea about it at all. Like I knew the name of it, I knew of it, of course, but I knew nothing other than that, really and truly.
Yeah,
people have been way too nice. We should be embarrassed. Like it's one of those ones though that it's not that like we weren't, I guess, paying attention. It's that when I would hear the name, I'm like, wasn't that from like 5 months ago? Like they're still around kind of thing. Just because I, like you said, Tom, I don't know if it was stubbornness or just like I didn't get into it then. So like, oh, why would I start getting into it now? I just never even just bothered to look at all. It's kind of amazing how something that big can slide under the radar like that. As far as how much they've developed in this amount of time.
Yeah. Well, shout out to this team, man. We're sorry we haven't covered it
We're
sooner.
sorry. We're sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the South Park, right? Yeah, well, I definitely something I'm going to keep an eye on now too, and definitely not sleep on it anymore. So thanks, Jack, for bringing this one up for us.